Okay, so have you guys ever see those like animated explainer videos that are like all over the internet these days?
Oh, yeah, they're everywhere.
And they always look so good. I'm always like, man, I bet those cost like a fortune to make.
Right, like you need a whole team of animators and voice actors, right?
Totally. But guess what?
What?
I just found this software. It says you can make these videos.
Really?
Yeah, in just like 60 seconds.
No way.
Yeah, and it uses, get this, AI.
Oh, wow. AI is getting into everything these days, huh?
It really is. So the software we're going to be looking at today is called VidExplo AI 2.0. And it's basically saying that it can revolutionize the way that people make explainer videos.
I've seen some of these AI tools popping up. They claim to do like everything, from writing the script to even doing like the voiceover.
I know. It's kind of mind-blowing. So, like, imagine you just, like, type in some keywords, and boom, you have a video.
That's the dream, right?
That is the dream. It almost sounds too good to be true.
Yeah.
But before we get into whether or not it lives up to the hype, let's talk about why explainer videos have become, like, so incredibly popular in the first place.
Well, we live in a world where we're just bombarded with information constantly. And I think animated explainer videos, they offer this really great way to cut through all that noise and present information in a way that's both engaging and easy to understand.
I know, I definitely find myself, like, more drawn to watching a video than reading a big block of text.
Well, absolutely. And there's actually, data that backs this up. There's some sources that say that like almost 95% of people say they understand a product or a service better after watching an explainer video.
Wow.
And get this, over 70% of viewers have actually bought something after watching an explainer video.
So they're not just watching them, they're actually converting into sales.
Exactly.
That's amazing. It's no wonder that, like, every business is using these videos now.
You see them everywhere.
Seriously. And it's not just businesses. Like, I've even seen, like, educational institutions and nonprofits using them too.
Oh, yeah, they're really versatile. I think a big part of it is that animation itself is just such an effective way to communicate.
Yeah, but what is it about animation? Like, what makes it so captivating?
Well, with animation, you can like create characters and entire worlds that just bring a concept to life.
Yeah,
And you can use things like humor and metaphors and visual storytelling techniques that you just wouldn't be able to do with live action.
that's true.
Plus, sometimes animation can actually be more cost effective than live action because you don't need actors or sets or all this expensive equipment.
That makes sense. Okay, so we know that these videos are effective. But the thing is, you know, traditionally making these videos, it's been a pretty complex process.
Absolutely.
You usually need to hire like animators and script writers, voiceover artists,
Yeah, a whole team of people.
and it can get really expensive. And this is where VidExplo AI 2.0 claims to, kind of change everything. It's like it's saying it can make this whole process way easier and way more affordable.
It's like democratizing video creation, right? Putting the power in anyone's hands.
Exactly, because they're saying that you can get all of this for a one-time fee of $14.95.
Wow. That's way cheaper than hiring a team or even using one of those like monthly video platforms.
Yeah. And speaking of those platforms, they actually mention some of them in their marketing. So they talk about like Simple Show,
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
and that one could be like almost $500 a month.
Yeah, that's a pretty hefty price tag.
And then they mentioned Biteable,
Oh, yeah, Biteable.
and that could be like almost $200 a month.
Yeah, it starts to add up.
So, I mean, $14.95 sounds like a steal in comparison.
It does. It kind of makes you wonder, though, like, what's the catch?
Yeah, if it's that affordable and that easy to use, are we sacrificing something? Like, what about the quality?
Right, exactly. Those are all good questions.
So that is what we are going to be looking at next.
Well, I need to dig a little deeper here.
All right, so we've talked about how awesome explainer videos are and how this VidExplo AI 2.0 is like, claiming to make the whole process super easy and affordable.
Right.
But let's be real for a sec, okay? I mean, is it actually possible to make a video that looks professional in like just 60 seconds using AI?
Yeah, that's the big question, right?
Yeah.
Like, how much are we sacrificing in terms of quality and control to get that speed and affordability?
Yeah, exactly. Like, are these videos going to look like, a robot made them? Or can AI actually create something that looks, really polished and engaging?
Well, the thing is, AI-generated content, it's still kind of in its early stages.
Yeah.
It's come a long way, for sure, but it's not magic.
Right.
There are going to be limitations when you're basically relying on algorithms to do these creative tasks.
Okay, so what are some of the like potential downsides here? What do our listeners need to like be aware of before they, jump on this $14.95 bandwagon.
Well, one thing to think about is the level of customization you're going to have.
Okay.
Because when you're using, pre-made templates and AI-generated scripts and voiceovers, you're going to have less control over the final product, right?
Right.
You might be limited in terms of like style and tone and, just the specific message that you're trying to get across.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess it's probably fine for those like quick generic videos.
Yeah.
But if you need something super specific, it's not the best way to go.
Exactly. And then there's also, the question of quality. Like
Mhm.
AI-generated voiceovers have gotten a lot better, but they can still sometimes sound, a little robotic or unnatural.
Yeah.
And, while the software says it can do animation, we don't really know how sophisticated those animations are going to be.
Yeah, there's a big difference between like, just throwing some basic animations together and creating something that like really grabs people's attention.
Absolutely.
And that's where I think the human element still really matters.
I agree.
AI can handle some of those like technical tasks, but it still needs a human to, guide it and give it direction.
For sure.
The best explainer videos are the ones that have like a real creative vision behind them. Someone who understands the audience and the message and how to bring it all together.
Definitely.
So it's not just like, pressing a button and letting the AI do its thing.
Right.
You still need to have some like understanding of storytelling and what makes a video engaging.
Exactly. And that actually brings up another interesting point, which is the potential impact of all this on the video creation industry itself.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Some people are worried that AI is going to, completely replace human video editors and animators.
Yeah, I've heard that too. It's a little scary to think about.
Yeah, are we all going to be out of job? I don't think it's that simple. I think while AI will definitely, change how videos are made, I think it's more of a tool that will help human creators,
Okay.
not replace them entirely.
So instead of worrying about being replaced, maybe we should be thinking about how we can use these tools to make our jobs easier.
Exactly. Think about it. If AI can take care of those like really tedious tasks, it frees us up to focus on the more creative stuff.
Yeah, like the storytelling.
Exactly. Like the stuff that really requires that human touch.
It's kind of like having an AI assistant, helping us bring our ideas to life.
Exactly. And that opens up a lot of exciting possibilities.
Right.
Imagine like anyone, no matter how much money they have or how tech savvy they are, can make these amazing explainer videos. It could be
Yeah.
huge for small businesses and educators and nonprofits.
It's kind of empowering, right? Like everyone has a voice.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder what this is going to mean for the future of video?
Yeah, like if everyone can make high-quality videos, will that change how we watch and share information online?
It's definitely something to think about. But for now, let's bring it back to VidExplo AI 2.0.
Okay.
So, based on what we know, do you think it's worth the hype?
Well, it's hard to say for sure without trying it out, right?
True.
But I am, like, definitely intrigued.
Me too.
I mean, the idea of making explainer videos that easily and that affordably, it's pretty tempting.
It is.
But at the same time, we have to be realistic about what AI can do right now.
Right. We don't want to buy into the hype without understanding the limitations.
Exactly.
I think it's worth keeping an eye on, though.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning. AI is going to keep getting more and more powerful, and I think we're going to see even more crazy video creation tools in the future.
I can't wait. That actually reminds me of something else that I was curious about.
Oh, what's that?
What's interesting is that, like, in their marketing stuff, they actually mentioned all these big names who were using explainer videos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like they mentioned Lady Gaga and Taylor Swift, and even like big tech companies like Facebook and Google and Apple.
It's true. You see them everywhere. Even those big companies are using them.
Yeah, so like if those giants are using them, there's got to be something to it, right?
I think it just goes to show that these videos, they're not just for small businesses or startups.
Right.
It's really like a powerful tool that anyone can use.
Yeah, because even if you're like, a huge company with tons of resources, you still need a way to like explain your ideas in a way that everyone can understand.
Exactly.
And animation is like perfect for that, right?
It is.
Because it can cross like language barriers and cultural differences and, people age groups.
Yeah, everyone loves a good story, and animation is a really great way to tell stories.
So what can we like learn from these big brands and celebrities who are already using explainer videos really well? Like, are there any secrets to making a video that like really stands out from the crowd?
I think one of the big things is that the best explainer videos, they really focus in the audience, not just the product or service. They start by like identifying a problem that the viewer has, and then they present their thing as the solution.
So instead of like, just listing features and benefits, they're actually telling a story.
Exactly. They're making you feel something.
Yeah.
And that's what makes a video memorable.
Right. Like it's like those commercials that, they make you laugh or they make you cry.
Yeah,
The ones that you actually remember.
exactly. And then another important thing is clarity.
Okay.
A good explainer video, it gets straight to the point, and
Right.
it avoids, jargon or technical terms that people won't understand.
Yeah. Keep it simple, keep it engaging.
Exactly.
And the visuals are super important too, right?
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
the animation style, the colors, the characters, it all creates like a mood.
It all works together.
Yeah. And don't forget about the sound.
The sound is
The
huge.
music, the sound effects, the voiceover, it all adds to the
It's
experience.
like you're creating a little mini movie,
Yeah.
but with the goal of like teaching people something or persuading them.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into AI and animated explainer videos,
Yeah.
what are your final thoughts?
I think the biggest takeaway is that even though AI is making it easier and cheaper to make these videos,
Hmm.
the core principles of storytelling and, connecting with your audience, those are still super important.
So it doesn't matter if you're using AI or you're doing it the old-fashioned way.
Right.
What matters is that you're creating something that like tells a good story and looks good and sounds good.
And that people actually want to watch.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe with AI we'll see even more creative and amazing explainer videos in the future.
I can't wait to see what people come up with.
I know it's going to be exciting. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone.